Hello, everyone. Christy Giannoni. We are in week 7 of MPA 585 Political Economy. And this week, we're taking a look at the methods of tax avoidance and how they can reduce a taxpayer's tax liability. So, before I go into the three methods that I chose to focus on, I wanted to kind of talk about the difference between tax avoidance and tax evasion. Tax avoidance is a legal means to avoid taxes by taking advantage of the provisions of the tax code or rules. Tax evasion are illegal methods to be able to do this. And so, these legal loopholes were very well explained in the Starbucks video that we saw this week, where Starbucks was using a complex tax structure in Europe to make larger profit. And there are actually new case studies on Starbucks. So this has been going on for a while and been studied by economists across the world. And recently, Starbucks have been trying to blame the pandemic for their loss of profit, even though they have been utilizing these tactics for a while. And so they're avoiding corporation taxes by claiming no profit or limited profit. So I always laugh for anybody who's familiar with this show, when this character was kind of like, "Well, it's a write-off," and this dad was like, "Do you even know what a write-off is and who pays for it?" And he's like, "I don't know, the people." So I think these tax avoidance are something that's not very understood by the general population, and why so many individuals can kind of get away with it, and why we have a hard time understanding how it can be utilized in order to have these limited taxes on income by individuals and corporations. So, taking a look at the three methods, I chose to focus on income shifting, tax arbitration, and tax shelters. And these are the page citations coming out of our public sector, economics of public sector books by Stiglitz and Rosengard. So this first method of income shifting, this is a tax planning technique that basically transfers income from high to low tax bracket taxpayers. It's also used to reduce the overall tax burden by moving income from a high to low tax rate jurisdiction. So this can be utilized by individuals such as parents who can shift income producing assets to their children. And so the text talks about the 1986 Tax Reform Act that tried to limit these shifting taxes to those under the age of 14. So I think we saw a lot of individuals who had high profit income shifting those assets to those under the age of 18 who may not have access or understanding to their own taxes. And then the next method, tax arbitrage, which is the process of buying and selling something and profiting from the difference. And the difference in prices is because of imperfect information, as we've learned about these kind of market failures, which someone can really take advantage of. And this begins to affect the supply and demand of the market. So if we're taking something, some of the videos that I was able to look up, they utilize the concept of, a fruit. If you can get a berry down the street for one price, and then go to a market in a city next door and sell that for a profit. As that continues going, it's going to affect the supply and demand of each of those markets, so that that profit margin is no longer there. As the text explains, there is a sure gain in the term arbitrage. That is, there is no assumed risk. So by doing this, it's strictly for profit purpose, and there is no risk. And there is that no risk factor because there is expected profit. And then last is tax shelters. This is seen in directing us back to the textbook on page 752. And tax shelters include a variety of investment strategies that aim to reduce taxable income. This can be in the form of a variety of different things. Often in human resources, we talk to our new employees of kind of the ways that they can utilize this, such as workplace retirement accounts. For government agencies, there are 457 plans that would be able to utilize for this. Pre-tax deductions such as FSAs or HRAs. This is something that is offered through a lot of employers that set aside pre-tax money for particular health expenses, and tax credits such as child tax credits. So the two that I have seen utilized by people I know the most is income shifting. I have a friend who has a family business, so the majority of the family members that are overseeing the company often do the income shifting to their children because they are making such a high profit because it has been a long and successful company. And then also tax shelters. Again, this is something that I remember as a dependent child that my parents did, especially when I was in school and they were paying for school and claiming me as a dependent. And also, again, some of these things that we talked about that we offer to employees, such as these workplace retirement accounts and FSAs as well. All right, thank you all. This has been a great journey with you. Good luck in your finals week as they start to approach, and I hope everybody has a blessed weekend.